So you're trying to make a choice of whether you're gonna live in Palm Beach or West Palm Beach, but you don't really know the difference. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about West Palm Beach and Palm Beach. And when I moved here, I actually had no idea that there was a difference. I would just say Palm Beach, and then I was corrected. So let's say you wanted to decide you wanted to move to this area and somebody told you, hey, Palm Beach is the place you wanna be. Like, they might have actually meant West Palm Beach because they weren't from the area. Well, how would you know the difference? You'd do a little bit of research, right? For example, I have 2 apples here, and let's say I wanted to bake a pie. Well, I just found out the other day, if I wanted to bake a pie, Granny Smiths are the best apple to actually bake with, whereas a Fuji is the best apple to actually have a snack on. So if I tried to make the pie with the Fuji, it might not come out as well as the Granny Smith. With that being said, if you're gonna be moving to this area, what is important to you? We're gonna give you all of the criteria that you're gonna be looking at. And the criteria that we're gonna use for you, which a lot of people moving here to Florida are going to look at. It's gonna be cost of living, it's gonna be crime rate, it's gonna be population, and beaches. And then we had climate in there because I did the best beach budget town because we cover all of Florida. But for the purposes of this, the climate is pretty much exactly the same. So let's talk about some of like the pros and cons of living in West Palm Beach or Palm Beach. Now on Palm Beach Island, the pros are you're really close to the beach. West Palm Beach, there are actually no beaches. So there's a pro if you were looking specifically to be next to the beach, you're gonna wanna be on Palm Beach Island. Now, let's just say you wanted to have great shopping. Well, what kind of shopping do you want? Do you want like the Dolce & Gabbana shopping? Do you want like the super, super high-end stuff? Or are you gonna wanna be on Palm Beach Island? Now, let's say you wanted to go kind of more retail kind of look and maybe some little bit of outlets, because there's actually some outlets that are in West Palm Beach. That's where you're gonna wanna be for kind of that outlet shopping and more of a retail kind of shopping. Entertainment. Depends on what kind of entertainment you want. You want super, super high-end like Fontainebleau down in Miami, you're gonna wanna be on Palm Beach Island. So it really depends on what you're looking for. For instance, in order to make a good decision, you need to know what ingredients are gonna go into making that decision. So what's important to you? Right, important to me, making a good pie is using these apples. Also, you wanna have a great sous chef as well to guide you along the way. I'd like to think of us as a great sous chef to help you find the right property. So whether it's West Palm Beach or Palm Beach, maybe you're looking for a property up in Port St. Lucie or over in Boca Raton. We know all these different areas and we can actually give you the information so that you can make a great decision to make that great pie. Where do you want to be? So you need to have the information, and that's what we're here for. So I've been following Bruiser's guidance here, and he's told me that it's now time to take the chopped apples and put them in the pie tray and then put them in the oven. I don't think this thing's ready, but Bruiser says go, so I'm gonna do what the sous chef says. Let's see how that turns out. All right, so let's start off with the most important thing to most people, which is the cost of living. And let's basically say that it's the price of the homes. Now, the average price point for a single family home on Palm Beach Island is over $10 million. It fluctuates a little bit. Once you go over the intercoastal from West Palm Beach to Palm Beach, you're gonna be looking at over $10 million. Now that might be in some people's price point, and actually a little bit later, I'm gonna actually talk to you about an opportunity where you could buy on Palm Beach Island for $400,000, but we're gonna put that to the side. Coming back to West Palm Beach. Now West Palm Beach, just over the intercoastal as you can see here on the map, you got Palm Beach and West Palm Beach. Now there's a couple areas that are clustered over with that West Palm Beach area. I won't get too much into those geo area codes, but ultimately you're gonna be looking around $1 million for a single family home in West Palm Beach. Now you can find some condos, you can find some single family homes, maybe a little bit lower. You're talking 10 times more for a single family home going from West Palm Beach over to Palm Beach. Now that's a significant difference. These apples right here are gonna cost a little bit different depending on what you want. So why is that? Why is that cost so different when you're literally going 1 mile from West Palm Beach over to Palm Beach and you go 10 times as much? Well, the reason is Palm Beach Island is the second most expensive real estate price per square foot in the world, next to Monaco. Monaco's a small little country over there in Europe. Why does Palm Beach Island cost so much? Well, you got hedge funds that are there. You have the Palm Beach Island Golf Club, you have the Breakers, you have these incredible beaches, you have Worth Avenue. It's like opulence is all right there. When you come over the bridge, every single car that goes into Palm Beach Island is recorded. So there's like, basically that's a gate that you don't have to go through, that they know who comes on the island, who leaves the island. They are hyper on top of it. So it has this really high level of security that is on the island there. So that puts that hyper premium for that 1% or those elite kind of people, where they feel like, hey, I'm surrounded by other elites, I'm surrounded by security, I'm surrounded by opulence. That's the difference. That's why you're talking literally 10 times more going from West Palm Beach over to Palm Beach when it comes to cost of living. Now, in contrast, you have West Palm Beach. It is not a grotty area. I mean, you'd think, oh my gosh, it's 10 times less. It's an average price point of $1 million. It must be lesser. It's not necessarily lesser. It just isn't Palm Beach. That's a very special area. Now, over in West Palm Beach, you have a lot of great reasons to live there. You have Clematis Street, you have all the restaurants, you have the Kravis Center that's right there. There's all kinds of different little shops and areas. Now, the one area that I'd like you to hone in on, for me, if I was to move down to that West Palm area, I would move to Northwood. Northwood is an older area of West Palm Beach, just over the bridge on the north side. And actually what that area was, it was the area that the servants for Palm Beach Island actually lived. So they could literally afford a home that was just over the intercoastal there in that Northwood area. So you find a lot of older homes. Now, for Florida, an older home is built in 1930. A really old home is built in 1910. So you can find some really unique, cool, kind of older, Gilded Age, Spanish-style homes over in that Northwood area. Now, spilling off of that, there's little sub areas out of that, and literally within 5 or 10 minutes from West Palm, you could be in a condo that's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo for $350,000. It's a really nice area. I don't want to scare you at all of saying, wow, it's 10 times less. Well, it's just less because Palm Beach Island, there's just nothing like it. So I found some stats here about the cost of living that I think you might find interesting in the difference between Palm Beach and West Palm Beach when it comes to cost of living. Let's dive into those. All right, so diving into these, the overall cost of living in West Palm Beach is 114.5% lower than Palm Beach. The food and grocery prices in West Palm Beach are 10.9. Just going over that bridge, you're gonna pay 10% less. Now, the home costs are 329.1% lower than Palm Beach. Basic utilities are 1.2 more in West Palm Beach. So it actually costs a little bit more for utilities in West Palm Beach. Transportation costs are 1.4% less in Palm Beach. So you're actually gonna pay a little bit less transportation costs there on Palm Beach Island. Commute time to work is 7.2% faster in West Palm Beach. So I thought those statistics would be helpful to you to kind of illustrate the difference, like we've been talking about, the difference. What is the difference? What do I want to achieve? Do I want to bake a pie, or do I just want to eat an apple for a snack? It's the same with West Palm Beach. There's going to be certain criteria to you that's important to you. All right, let's talk about crime rate. Bottom line, West Palm Beach has a higher crime rate than Palm Beach Island. So let's basically put it into context here. There's no crime on Palm Beach Island. So by default, if you literally have nearly zero crime, it doesn't take much to have more crime. So West Palm Beach definitely does have more crime than Palm Beach. Furthermore, I go down to West Palm Beach all the time. I bring my daughter down there. Clematis Street is phenomenal, but also you have City Place. City Place, you will not feel more safe than feeling where you are in City Place. They have Christmas shows. We were down there for an Irish thing the other day for St. Paddy's Day. There's great shopping, great food. You will not feel threatened at all in that area. So let's talk about population, and just as dramatic the cost of living or the median sale price going from over 10 million to 1 million, it is equally dramatic when we're talking about population. Now currently, right now, as of 2024, we're looking at around 130,000 people-ish in the West Palm Beach area. So you're looking around 130,000. Palm Beach Island, you're looking around 10,000. That's almost a 13 times difference of the population on Palm Beach as opposed to West Palm Beach. If you're really, don't want to be feeling like you're congested at all, Palm Beach Island might be a little bit better for you. You don't know if you have that $10 million for the single family home, but we do have that surprise for you in the end, that full $100,000 unit that you can live on Palm Beach Island. All right, so let's talk about a subject that a lot of people like to talk about when we come to Florida, and it is beaches. Guess what? West Palm Beach doesn't have any beaches. There is literally no beaches there because it's actually on the intercoastal. And trust me, you don't want to swim in the intercoastal. Let's say you're in West Palm Beach or in any area in Palm Beach County and you wanted to go to the beach. Now, Palm Beach Island is super, hyper exclusive, but these beaches are all public beaches. Florida doesn't have any private beaches. We have full public beach access. Now, these are some really cool beaches that I think you want to check out. The first beach you have is the Town of Palm Beach Municipal Beach. Now, this is just north of Worth Avenue on South Ocean Boulevard. Now, South Ocean Boulevard, you can literally park. It's all public parking, and you can walk right down onto this absolutely exquisite, beautiful beach right down the street from the breakers. Then you have the Lantana Municipal Beach. That's a little farther south. Lantana is kind of near Manalapan, and that's where Tony Robbins lives. Beautiful public beach down there at the Lantana Municipal Beach. And then you have the Lake Worth Beach Park. I absolutely love the Lake Worth Beach Park, not just because it's right down the street from the Palm Beach Par 3, but also there's a restaurant there, there's all kinds of facilities, has a really great public parking lot, great spot. So those are 3 beaches that you could literally drive from West Palm Beach or any other area in Palm Beach County over onto the island, check out some of that beautiful foliage, check out those McMansions, and you're just gonna have a great day with the family or someone that you love. Go check it out. All right, so I know you've all been on the edge of your seat wondering what the difference in climate is between West Palm Beach and Palm Beach. There's literally no difference. They are a couple miles away. So we're in the tropics here, and it is 76 this time of year right now with a warm breeze. I literally was out the other day. Couldn't have been any better. So based on all the criteria that I just went over, when it comes to everything other than cost of living, I would prefer to live on Palm Beach Island. It's just nicer. But that price point of $10 million kind of gives me a little reservation. Like, I've taken care of my finances, but I'm not quite there yet. I was actually searching out on the island, and I'm always curious about real estate. It's one of my passions. And I actually found a couple of properties that are $400,000 to live on Palm Beach Island. So stick around to the end, and I'm going to show you that $400,000 property on Palm Beach Island that is literally right down the road from those $10 million properties. So while the pie is baking, I got a little bit of time here. Bruiser's back watching the oven, making sure that we don't burn that pie. And I wanted to talk about the difference of apples to apples. What do I mean by that? When people say, as I thought about apples, I thought about the Big Apple. Now, people say, hey, move to New York. Well, where in New York? There's 5 different boroughs in New York. Brooklyn is a lot different price point than Manhattan. But a lot of people just say, I live in New York. Well, where exactly do you live in New York? That's what we're talking about here. And more importantly, why do you live there? Why you live there is what's important to you. So if the shopping is really important and you want to be hyper close to that Dolce & Gabbana, that's going to be Palm Beach Island. Well, if you had a job and it was closer to downtown West Palm Beach and you didn't want to have much of a commute, then you would go with West Palm Beach. It really depends on what it is that you want. What is the end goal? What I want is for you to get clear on what it is that you're looking for. Right now, what I want is I'm out for a beautiful walk here in downtown Stewart. I'm down at Shepherd's Park, absolutely gorgeous. I want to have a bite of an apple to help me on my little journey here. So I'm going to go with a Fuji. Pretty good. So I wanted to show you 2 things here. I was checking out MLS, and I kind of went with, if money was no object, where would I want to live on Palm Beach Island? And if money was an object and I wasn't able to buy whatever I wanted for whatever price, where would I be? And we're going to talk about that $400,000 unit. But let's dive into this one here. Absolutely love this property. Now, this property is listed right now at $54 million. It's a 6-bedroom, 7-bath, 10,000 square foot unit on the water. Now, I don't just like this just because it's really expensive. I actually like this home because it actually reminds me of my home. It reminds me kind of Cape Cod in a little bit of a way. It's got a West Indies kind of look to it, but look at that view out over the ocean. Absolutely exquisite. I can picture myself out there with my friends, my daughter, looking at that beautiful turquoise water. So this is where I would live if money was no object. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so the moment that you've all been waiting for, an affordable place to live on Palm Beach Island. And I actually found 3 condo complexes on Palm Beach Island that are at or around $400,000. The first one that you have is actually called the Palm Beach Hotel. It's got a massive history behind it, and it is right in downtown Palm Beach. It's only a few blocks down from Worth Avenue, so which is all of the Dolce & Gabbana and all those cool shops that we showed you with Bruiser. Now, an additional unit, this is the one that I did the video on, the $1.5 million condo, and this is in the White House. The White House is actually on the ocean. You can buy a condo that you can walk down to the pool and then onto the ocean for $344,000. So 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So it is a little Spartan for sure, but you can get onto Palm Beach Island for $344,000. And the third one is the Saxon. And the Saxon, you can find a unit in there. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath for $400,000. So let's just say I was to go back in time with myself. I'm 51 years old. Let's say I was in my 30s and I wanted to be around opulence. Maybe I was now a financial advisor or even a real estate agent, and I wanted to get into luxury, or I just wanted to be around that luxury. All 3 of these units would be something I would look at. These are some great options if you wanted to be on the island and you were on that budget. So what'd you think of those properties? Did you like the $54 million one? Or maybe you kind of were looking at the $400,000 one. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Which area would you like to see yourself in? West Palm Beach or Palm Beach? And let's say money wasn't an object. This illustrates everything perfectly. A beautiful, perfect apple pie. I followed the sous chef's directions. It came out absolutely perfect. I'm gonna love eating this later. Bruiser, what do you think? Absolutely gorgeous. Oh man, you're supposed to throw away the box.